Shalom, Israel. How about Shem Yahushua Barakatah? With I.S.U.P.K, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12th tribe of Israel. We're not under any other affiliation. We start off in 1969, Commander General YAHANNA, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12th tribe of Israel. If you're not under I.S.U.P.K, then you're not under the truth. Get in class and get a flyer and go online, www.ISUPK.com, and get in class. We're teaching. My name is Officer Qadash, Yahabashim Yahushai Barakatah. To all the brothers, Yahushua Alathah Bashim Yahushai. To all of the sisters in I.S.U.P.K and abroad, and if you're not, get in class. We're saying to you, we're glad that you're here to go over the class. Lashawan Qadash, we teach Paleo and Assyrian Hebrew here Friday night. And we're going to go over class. We're going to start it off by calling it Preparedness. See Sister Adrian here early. Preparedness, or be prepared. From our generals, they wanted. I thought I'd put up the class and put the preparedness on the board and tell you what the definition of being prepared is. I mean, you know, a lot of people don't know. I mean, we have to be prepared at all times in class and at our job, at home, and just everyday preparation. So the definition of preparedness is a state of readiness, especially for war. Boy, that's befitting. Preparedness, I'm telling you, we have to be in I.S.U.P.K. We have to be ready at all times. It's lucky. We have to be ready at all times. And coming down from the top, you know, prepare for this winter. And I'll write that down in Hebrew so we can see what that looks like. Get Salaki for a second. Okay, there we go. We want to be, let's find out what that looks like in Hebrew. So the word, we'll tell you what these words mean and what they sound like in Hebrew, you know. And for the word for prepare, of course, we have here, there may be more than one word, but I'm going to use kawan. And then for this, Za'ah. And then, of course, winter is Kara. Kara. Well, get to spell it right, first of all. Kara. Okay? Kara. Michelle Gambrill, glad to have you in class. Sister Michelle, all right. And Adrian. Michelle. I always like to put you on the board so I can make sure I put you down in my attendance. Get you always, when you come to class, make sure you check in, sign in. Everybody across the United States and South Carolina, North Carolina, wherever you are, Virginia, check in so we can get credit for your class there. See the sisters here available early there. Got some brothers coming on in class. Michelle and Adrian. Okay. And of course, what I want to do also, we'll talk a little bit about Hebrew. Then we'll go over the alphabet a little bit for refreshers for people who haven't been in class for a while or to understand. But I thought I'd just bring up just a little class and kind of state what's been stated already. In other words, prepare for this winter. You know, COVID and all these things, what we heard about and talked about over the last year. You know, we believe that that's going to get a little tougher. I'm just kind of like writing in Hebrew so you guys can kind of get the message. You know, make sure you get with the camp leader and all this. For they have special preparation information for you to prepare for this winter. I'm not stating what that preparation is. I'm just saying make sure you get hold to one of your camp leaders on I.S.U.P.K, www.ISUPK.com. There is a list of things that you need to prepare for this winter. Kawan, Za'ah, Karap. You know, and then and of course, secure your zone. Now, what does that mean? You know, in Hebrew, you know, secure means like we're going to say guard. Or we're going to say, let me use another pen here. Use another pen here. Secure. We'll say, you know, for lack of better words, we'll say shamar. Because that's what it means. Secure your area. Make sure you got your area together. You know, let's get on shamar. My brothers, sisters, be on shamar too for your family, you know, as instructed by your husband. And if you don't have one, then you get with your camp leader as instructed. Always, if you don't have a husband, sisters, you always get with your camp leader. You know how to do that. Go online. In every area have your own camp leader to prepare for this winter. Kawan, Za'ah, Karap. Okay, so shamar. Here that means, you know, guard your zone. So we'll say shamar, and we'll use the word, like here, this is like ka. It's what we're gonna have to use a preposition. Let's see, we'll use a preposition adjective. Possessive adjective, I'm sorry, and to take care of this noun here. So what we're going to do is we're going to call the zone our house, and the word for house, of course, you guys make sure you're writing your notes so you can keep up with this information. We're going to call it bayath. That's the word for house. So prepare your house or your zone or whatever your area is. I'm just using the word bayath. But we got to do something to this house here. We got to, but house itself, that means a house, you know, this house. But we want to say your house. Let's just make sure that everybody understands, you know, we're talking about your house, not somebody else's. Take care of your house. You know, let them camp leaders worry about everybody else's house unless instructed, you know, sisters and especially, you know, make sure you, if you don't have a spouse, so you make sure, if you do, then you know you get with your husband, of course, your husband. But anyway, shamar, bayath, that's secure your zone. That means be on shamar, you know, be on shamar, be understanding. In other words, get the things you need to secure your house, and that's on that list that you get with your camp leader. They'll give you one. It's in there. It's out there. www.ISUPK.com. Get one. I'm sure you'll be able to get hold to it. Let's see. Secure. So we'll say over here. We'll use another pen right here. Remember from the classes before, if you want to make some possessive adjective over here, you want to say this zone or house, you want to say, and you want to hold on to it and make it possession, you have to put a ka back here. You know, if you can put ka bayah, but it wouldn't mean nothing because you want to put it behind it. Now everybody knows that, oh, that's your house. Bayah ka. You know, let's make sure that we make sure the possessive adjective is in place right here. So we'll say shamar. Well, let's make sure let's do some Assyrian and Paleo on some of these. So we can tell, well, that's what we do. We teach Paleo and Assyrian. And the reason why I do this so it can be an indelible thought in your mind. It can be in your mind to say, oh, okay, he's talking about preparation for winter. Kawan, Karap, Za'ah, Karap. When I see that, oh, okay, that's a good mental thought, and it's a good way to understand and write our language in Paleo and Hebrew. So we'll start off in we'll start off in Assyrian here, Kawan. Let's do that. Let's do what it looks like here. Ka, wa, And then, of course, we have to use, since it ends, Kawan ends in a N, we have to use a special Hebrew character. I'm pretty sure you guys know you remember what character we used last week? I mean, I'll show you here on the board. If you look on the board, you'll see if you use, when an N comes at the end of the word, remember that? Like right here, in this case, there are 5 ending characters. So in other words, when you see an ending character on the end of a word, like this, Kawan, you know, let me use another color for this right here. I don't want people to get mixed up with this ka thinking that's an ending character. It's just a prepositional adjective. And of course, we're right up behind right here, ka. That's a prepositional, I'm sorry, not a prepositional, possessive adjective. It's a lot. Okay, see if you guys can remember and can tell me, what do I need right here to make that N happen? And on the board, you can use your notes on the board. I want you just, Michelle and Adrian and all the others listening in class. What do we use instead of the regular N? I mean, you have 3 different N's. You got one look like this. You have one look like this. One look like this. And of course, you have one that looks like this. Which one of those N's would we use? 1, 2, or 3 here, since in your register. Okay, if you can see what I'm doing on the board right here, we have, this is an N, like this. That's 1. And of course, the second N, that's 1. That's the first answer. Type in there 1, 2, or 3. Which one of these N's apply? This one, this N, or this one? Which one? We give these guys a chance to have it on the board right here. It's in front of me. Guys, give you a chance. You type in the register, type in the chat 1, 2, or 3. Which one of those ending characters do we use, or middle character, or a beginning character? Which one we use when you have Kawan? Adrian puts down 3. That's exactly right. Okay, that's a good lesson to learn for you, Michelle, when you're using that, and I'll show you why. Adrian wanted to use this one, and that's why. Okay, it's like this. Okay. In other words, she picked door number 3. Oh no, she just picked 3, and basically, what she picked was, where is it? Right there. I'm sorry, right there. That N. Why? Because all of the ones in green that I have right here are ending characters. When you see a word that has an M at the end, an N at the end, or a ka at the end, then you want to use that particular character. And of course, if you've written your characters down in class, you know you'll be able to understand that. And of course, here are the other characters. You'd use a pa and a taza. If you see those, if you see a pa or taza at the end of a word, then you have to use these green characters here. That's why I put them like that, so you can understand it. But in this case, Kawan, to prepare, is an N. So that's good. That's good. We appreciate that. That lets me know you guys are understanding and learning. Of course, we have Za'ah. Well, let's see. How do we write Za'ah? Let's write that. So, your is like ka. Okay, all right, over there, all right. So let's write. Let's see, what does a Za'ah look like? It looks like this. Za. Boy, I tell you, got the wrong color there. We want to do it in, I'm sorry, it's a lot. I'm trying to keep the colors so you guys won't get mixed up here. Woo. We're using, in Paleo we use blue, and Assyrian we use red here. So we'll go ahead and do it this way. It's Za, like this. That's a Z in Assyrian, just like that, a Z. Michelle has 3. All right, give those sisters a hand. All right, put some hands in the chats. That's good. That's very good. Sisters, pay attention. You use that character right there. That in right there. Very good. Okay. And so we say Za right here. Now we got to put a ha on the end, and that ha is right here, right there. So it looks like this. Za ha. Just like that. I like to challenge you guys once in a while. That lets me know you're learning. Very good, Adrian. Go ahead, Michelle. Put your claps in there. You know, that's for you guys. Let you know that you're doing well. And all the brothers, you know, help the sisters out. Put the claps in there. Okay. Put your hand claps. Okay. Very good. Give the applause. Okay. Za'ah. Now we're using the Syrian right now. I'll go back and put the paleo in a second. Very good, Michelle. Very good. All right. Okay. And Karab. Now what does that look like? What does Karab look like? We're going to go over a few things here on the board. Let's see. Zone, in this case, we're going to call it the Bayath is actually your house. And Shamar is actually really, we'll use the word, for lack of better words, we'll use the word guard, because that's what it is. We're on Shamar every week. We go to camp. You know, that's what we do. Well, secure your zone. Whatever you live in, your house, whatever it is, you know, your apartment, condo, secure it. They come down, command from on high. Command from on high. Make sure you secure your zone and prepare for this winter. You know, prepare for it. Winter. You know, it's going to come. It's going to be a rough one, I hear, for all of the different things going on, COVID and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's do Karak. Let's see, we look down in our we have a Ka. We're still doing a Syrian right here. It looks like this. Ka. And then, of course, we have Ra. We have a Ra there. I'm sorry, I got the wrong one there. That ain't the right one. It's Locky. Let's make sure we get, what am I doing here? Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, it's Locky. That is right. Had it wrong here, wrote it down wrong. It's that Ka, you can look up here in the notes and see. Ka, sorry, it's Locky. That is right. Ka, just like that. Right here. That Ka. And of course, Rock, you know, you got R. You got an R here. Right there. And of course, we want to look over here and find a P. That's the Pa. You know, in Assyrian it'll look like this. Like kind of hard to do it sometime right there. There we go. Like that. That's Assyrian. That spells, when you see that in Tanakh, on the Bible when you're reading, that's how it looks. So write that down in your note. That is Assyrian for that. Now I'll write before I get down to the next sentence down here, I get down to the paleo. We'll do that in blue. Of course, I should switch these around because that's what we have on the board, but pray you understand that. So, so we have Za over here. If you want to do we'll put some delineations here, some long lines so you can see the difference. Hope that doesn't confuse you. Yeah. I don't want to put them there. It may confuse people. I just put a dot right there so you guys can see that I'm going to something else over here. I'm going to the paleo right here for Za'ah, for this. You know. So we use a Z and an H, but the H is actually, that H is actually ha. It's a ha sound, and the ha sound in Hebrew looks like this. Okay? There's za. Let's see, where are we at here? Where's that Z? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, right there. We got the Syrian now. We got a za. Now we want to use the ha sound over here, and it'll look like this in Paleo. Okay? Okay? All right. Okay. Za'a. Z-ha. Zaha. And over here is Zaha. So the blue is Paleo, the red is Assyrian. So make sure you guys write that down in your notes, like I said in class. That's what I try to do, is keep good notes. That way I come back to it a year later. A year later, I still got things down, or just yesterday, depends on when I wrote it, of course. Now we'll write the kahan, preparation, or prepare, really. We'll write that in blue. So, ka, where is that at? It's right here. Go to your characters. Right here. Ka, it'll look just like this. Over here. Like that. And if you just joined us, go ahead and check in class. Get your credit on the board so we'll know. Ka. Of course, I put a dot here so you can see the difference, the difference in the two. And then you're going to use wa over here. It looks like this. Wa. Okay. Then of course you're going to say na. But you don't have let's see. We're going to use a na right here. It'll look like this. Okay? And I hope you guys understand that you do not use, okay? Now, you do not use an ending character there. All right? Listen, I'll put the connectors on here in a second here. I'll put it over here because the Hebrew has, the Paleo has connectors to them. So we go over here and we'll say ka. Over here, we'll have ka. Ka. Well, we'll give it some room. Ka. Okay. And then we have ra. Let's do some ra there. Where's the ra? Where's the R? It's right over there. There it is. Ra. Okay. And of course, you want to do the P. Well, find the P on your chart. Until you guys get used to this, you know, get referring to the chart, and you want to use the P. Pa, right there. Okay. Now we'll go back, and I want you guys to see. I want you guys to see what's wrong on this board, and I'll show you here. Kind of like showing you. Let's do pa like this. There we go. I did something right here that's a mistake, and I want somebody in the audience to tell me, on our viewers right there, tell me what's going on the board on the mistake right here. You know, on this pop, before I put the connectors on the Paleo, right here on the Assyrian, what's up with this right here? On that, kapah. What should go on right there? What should I have done? Well, let's see if we can figure it out. That's what we'll do. We'll do this 1, 2, 3 again. Want you guys to pick one. Tell me what's wrong. Tell me what the mistake is. All right, I'll put it right here. Tell me which one should we use. Okay. What should be up here? What should go right here? I put an arrow right there. What should that character look like? Okay? All right? Should look like that. Should it look like this? Or should it look like this? Now, tell me, is it 1, 2, or 3? Is it 1? Right here, if you can see the board, right there. Is it 1, 2, or 3? In other words, right here, I'll circle it. I'll circle it in blue. Right here. This character. What should that character be? Is there a mistake? It's a mistake. I'll tell you straight up front. There's a mistake. Right here. So what should it be? Corrupt. That's in Assyrian. What should that be? Before I put the connectors on my Paleo Hebrew, what should that be? Let's do it again. Corrupt. What should this be? Should it be this, or that symbol, or that character? 1, 2, or 3. Which one should it be right here? Give you guys a chance to think about it. Is it this one, or that one? I see the I don't see anything yet, so I know the minds are thinking about it. We give you guys a few seconds here. What I'm asking you again, I wrote the word kapa, which means winter. Adrian wrote number 2. All right. Michelle, what you say? What you say, Michelle? And the other people will give you a chance. Give you 10 more seconds here to figure out which one it is. 1, 2, or 3. Is it 1, 2, or 3? What you say? I'll let you guys write down your answer. Adrian chose that one. And really, all you gotta do is look at the board right here to figure it out. It's a pa. It's a pa. That P right there stands for pa. So, which, if you look at pa right there, you can figure it out. Give you a few more seconds to write down what that is. Okay. Michelle and other students. Adrian picked this number 2. Because, we're just trying to have a little fun so we can learn Hebrew. Because in these little games and stuff like this, or understanding, okay, sorry, sir, yeah, and slavery. Oh, I'm sorry, okay, that's good, sister. Yeah, the slavery, they give it. That's a real good that you're at the slavery doing this class, and I appreciate that. That's stick-to-itiveness. That's real good, sister. All right, but just take your time. Make sure you got everything under cover, what you're doing on what's going on, okay? She said number 2, so you both right. So right here, instead of being this regular P right here that I had on number 1, that is actually the ending character for pa, and that's right here. Now that lets me know you're learning. Okay, so it'll look like this. That's why I put these in different colors so you guys can see the difference. Yeah, looks like that. So when you see that right there, and this helps you when you read the Tanakh. You pick up a Tanakh and you see this, you'll say ka-rap, ka-ra-pa. At the end, this P right here. That's what I'm doing in class, just trying to make you guys aware of what's going on. Ka-rap, okay? And you have Lashawan by YAHANNA. All right, yes sir. Sean, Trooper Sean, okay, very good. We'll put your name down too. Make sure you, yeah, we got your name down for attendance. Trooper Sean, very good. You guys can brush up on your Hebrew. And we'll definitely go over some characters because I'm doing this in preparation, then I'll move on to something else. But anyway, to repeat ourselves again, this is preparedness, a state of readiness, especially for war. So I wrote out a sentence here to make that happen in Paleo and Hebrew. Now let's go back and do the characters. Let's do the characters. Let's go back and do the connectors for the Paleo, okay? That's the Paleo. The Paleo has connectors. I'll write it up here. The Paleo always have connectors. The Paleo always have, let's see, not connectors, I'm sorry. Wait a minute here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there you go. We have connectors, okay. I'm gonna see if I can write this word here, connectors. Yeah, just like that. Paleo has connectors. The Syrian has ending characters. That's the difference. And I'll write it up here. Ending characters. Ending, hope you guys can see this kind of small. Ending characters. Characters. Last time I spelled that wrong. Salakia. But now, there we go. Ending characters, okay? Now, so let's put some connectors on here so we'll see how to pronounce this. Because, if you don't know how to, let's do it like this. Ka, that's an independent connector. That's all it's saying over here is ka, right there, ka. C-H-A-A. And why do we do that? Because ka over here, right there, ka, is independently pronounced. So we have independent connectors and dependent connectors. And this kind, okay, now, let's see if you guys paying attention in class here. Trooper Sean, Sister Adrian, Sister Michelle, and all the other students in class. What kind of connector would I use for this Ra and the Pa? In other words, this part of the word right here, that what I have circled, right there, corrupt. I use an independent connector here. That's like this. And let's see. Let's give you a challenge here again. Let's see which one would I use. I want you guys. We're gonna give you a 50-50 choice. 50-50. 50-50. So we're gonna say, would you use one, an independent connector, or two, or a dependent connector for RAP, ROP? What would you say? Yeah. Aban Kara, Officer Kaban Kara, all right. Got one of my officer of the South Carolina class, Officer 500, Aban. Good. Okay. We got Kara, winter, preparedness. That's what we're doing. Let's break this word down. Prepare, Ka, Ra. We've already taken care of the Assyrian. Now we're doing the Paleo. What kind of connector we use? We use number one or number two. Now number one is called a independent connector. Number two is called a dependent connector. Dependent. All right? Connector. So which one do you use? Number one, type it in the chat. You're going to use number one and number two right here. Right here. I'm saying right here. Right there. That's what we're concentrating on right here. What do I use for that? Right there. I'm going to put an arrow to it so you can see what I'm doing. This is a Ra. That's a Ra, and that's Pa. So what would I use to make that happen? Would I use independent? Okay, Adrian puts down Now, number one is independent. So that means you want me to do this. I mean, I'll wait till let other people finish here. You're going to use one or two. We're going to use a Bankara. All right, get that brother a hand. Adrian, Officer 500, Salakia, sir. Officer 500 said you got to join these two together, and he's exactly right. So Ra and Pa, since they make one sound, they depend on each other. That's how you have to say it. There. So you have to do this. It's number two. It's like this. Okay? Adrian said dependent. Okay, here you go. She corrected. Thank you, Officer Bond, helping us out there, sir. Adrian's clapping up there. All right. So we use ka, rop. So you want to say winner, you know, Michelle, there you go, sister. There you go. Keep it going. Let's keep it going. Ka, rop. And that tells you that you can't say ka. Now I'll take this down for the second, Officer Bond, just for the second illustration. We can't, like Adrian, if you want to do this, if you did this, then automatically that would have to be that. So that now, these would be independent if you did it your way. It would be, of course, you know, we know that's not right, but it's okay, sister. You know, it's good. It's good. That's why we're here to learn. You know I'm get everything right anyway. Check this out. Ka, we know that's right. Independent. So you want to say ka, ra, pa. That's how they would sound. Ka, ra, pa. Nah. We want to say corrupt. That's why I try to pronounce the word before I put the independence or dependency on it, so you can grab it. That's the idea in class, what I'm trying to do here. So now, Officer Bankara, 500, he say, you have to join these two together. Rop, at one sound, rop. Okay, so we already know ka is independent connected, but if you want to say R-A-P, rop, you got to make them dependent upon each other. That's how you understand it. Anytime you see sounds that are dependent upon each other, that's how it's done. That's all you have to do. And of course, you know, we'll make mistakes here in class, but for the most part, it's a wild class. I'm telling you, you guys are really, really learning. Of course, let's go to Shamar. Of course, look on the board here, and you'll see that I have the characters on the board here. Naming connectors, like let's repeat again. The connectors in Paleo are right here. Independent or dependent connectors. But in Assyrian, that's what I have in red here, always will have either a regular character or an ending character, depending on what it is. Sometimes it may not have anything, depends. But if you're going to use the N, it's one of the 5 ending characters. You have 5 of them. Ka, ma, na, pa, ta, za. Okay? Let's go over here to, let's hang out here for a second here, because we want to make sure you guys get the understanding of it. Don't want to go too fast. Let's go over here to the Paleo for za. Okay? Let's see if somebody can handle that one. All right? Class, this is what I want you to do for Za'ah. I'm pronouncing it. Za-ha. Zaha. That's a little hard. Za. We don't want to say za, we want to say Zaha. So how would that be pronounced? Zaha. 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 I don't want to say Zah. I mean, you know, that's the way I pronounce it. And it got everything to do with it. So we'll just use for illustration, because, you know, sometimes it can go either way, but let's go by the way I want to pronounce it here. For this, Zaha. Zaha. Is that number 1 independent connector I'm going to use right here? Well, let's circle this word here. Let's make sure you guys see which one I'm pointing to. Always put an arrow right here. We're going to this word right here. Zaha. That's for this. That means for this. When I say prepare for this, Zaha. Zaha. What am I going to use? Independent connector or dependent connector? For the Za, that's a Z, that's what it's pronounced, or Za. In other words, right here, Za. And of course we're using Ha. We're using two characters to make what? Independent sounds or dependent sound? Zaha. Not za. I'm pronouncing it for you. Zaha. Okay, Adrian put independent. Okay, we'll let very good. Let's see. We'll let other people put in their choice. Everybody participate, no matter who it is. That's how we learn. So we're going up here, right there. Zaha. Based off of my pronunciation, what are we saying here? Zaha. Zaha. Not za, but zaha. What would you use? Independent or dependent? We give you guys 10 more seconds here. Let you just type in a 1 or a 2 in the chat for independent over here, independent or dependent. Zaha. Okay? Which one would you use? Michelle or Bond? Michelle said 1. Okay, Officer Bond. And of course, if you want to participate, everybody. And who else we got? Officer Ashan. Trooper Ashan, I'm sorry. What will we use here? Zaha. We're going to use number 1 or number 2. Zaha. Either independent sounds you hear or one sound. I'll put it up here in a second. Give you guys 5 more seconds to write down your answer. Or we'll just go with what we have on the board. That's good. That's fine. We appreciate everybody's participation in class. This is totally Tawab class. Call Tawab. That means all good. Okay? All right, we'll go ahead and give you the answer. All right? The answer is, what I want to use for it is Zaha. That means it's independent. Zaha. Okay? That's when you do use 2 upside down U's, because you wanted to say Zaha. If I don't want to just put this depends on each other to make a sound, the way I'm saying it is Zaha. That's how you do this. That's how it's done. I'm the one teaching class, so I'm going to tell you the way I want it to sound. So that's the connectors that I use, and or familiarity, and or not being back there 2,000 years ago. I use that. Okay, let's go over here to prepare. Kawan. So we say Kawan. All right, let's go over here. There again. In the chat, what we want to do, the independent connectors, we want to say is that when I'm saying Kawan, is it a 1 or a 2? Or is it a dependent connector? Is it Kawan? Kawan. Listen closely. Kawan. Okay? Now, so under the ka, what would I use? Just the ka, just the first character right there. Just this one right here. Ka. What would I use? In other words, on the board, if you see it, is this character right here. Right there. Hope you guys can see that. That character that I have on the board. Ka. You know, ka. Very good, Michelle. Ka. Ka-wan. What connectors I'm going to use on ka? Let's start with just that little C there with a little arrow there. That's a ka sound. So what would I use? Ka-wan. Would I use an independent connector on ka or dependent connector? What do you hear? Ka-wan. Ka-wan. Is it a 1 independent or 2 dependent? Go ahead, guys, write it in the chat. Get your answers there. This is how you learn real easily. That way, you know, you're actually typing your answers is, and I'm answering, so you actually answered your own question. Therefore, okay, Adrian, Michelle, you guys put 2. Now let me ask you, if they're dependent connectors, okay, for the ka sound, maybe it may be me saying something wrong. You guys both put the same thing, but when you hear kawan, let's put it this way. The first one is just going to be, just for the sake I said something wrong. Ka is, the first sound you hear is ka. That has to be independent. Ka. Now, kawan. So the wa and the na. We'll revise your answers. The ka is actually an independent sound. Ka, it's all by itself. Now, what would you use if I want to join the wa and the na together? What would I use? Number 1 or number 2? Kawan. Would I use the, and just go ahead and type it. If you think it's a 2, type it in there again. If you think it's a 1, type it in again. I want to do wan. I'll circle it right here. This right here, wan. That part of the word. We already know ka is independent. So if I want to use wan, what would I use? Number 1 or number 2? Independent or dependent? I mean, you got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Just go ahead and retype it in your chat if that's okay. And put, okay, good. Good. Michelle, you put yours in, or Shashan and Officer Abankarad, if you want to put it in. We'll give you guys a few more seconds to put that in the chat. You know, ka is independent, and then we want to put wan. Is that independent? What do you hear there? Ka, wan. What do you hear? Is that dependent sound or independent sound? That's basically what you're trying to decide. Give you 5 more seconds here. 5 or 6, 10 more seconds. What are you hearing? Sister Adrian, let's put her answer in. And I'm okay. Good. I believe you both. I believe everybody has got it right. Everybody that I do believe understand it. So we go ahead and do this. It's actually that right there. So, and I'm assuming you guys had the answer. I didn't want to confuse you on anything. But the first letter, ka, is independent sound. It doesn't need anything to depend on. Just ka. Just like that, ka. But when you want to say wan, you want to say wa, and you want to say na. There you go, Michelle Gamble. That's good. So, and you got it right. So you guys are all right. You got it right. So it's kawan. Very good. And so basically, to reiterate it again, and we'll go over there in a second here when we do another lesson over this. When you say prepare for this winter, in that sentence we're using kawan, za'a, karab. We're saying it has independent and dependent connectors on the blue right here, which is the paleo. Some independent, some dependent, depending on how it's sounding here. Rock and wan are dependent upon themselves to make a sound. That's the rule. You want to say this, man, do they depend on themselves to make one sound? Then that is a dependent connector. If they're independent by themselves, and what are you deciding? What are you deciding these characters here? These characters make the sound. All you're trying to do is say, do they depend on another sound? That is a character. And here, it does. Wa and the na depend on each other. Wa, na. Wan. Or over here, you have rop. Ra and a pa has to say rop. Okay? So let's go to shamar, or secure your zone. So basically, in other words, guard your zone. That's what I'm basically saying. That's really how I'm really saying it. We'll just say guard, for lack of better words right there. So guard your zone. And like I reiterate again, let's do this one real quick here. Bayaf. We'll do the Syrian first. Bayaf. We'll say ba. And over here, we go to the Syrian is going like, yeah, we do that in red here. Ba. Right there. Ba, then we'll say ya. We'll use a ya sound. And the ya is, where's that at? That's over here. So we go Yah. Right there, remember? Ba, Yah. And of course we want to use the Tha. The Tha, that's right here. Ba, Yah, then we got to do this. Okay? And then we have something. Then of course I have to make sure by Yah by itself means house. That's what it means. So we just saying your zone. In this case, we're saying secure your house. That's really what the word I use. So secure your zone, okay? So that it doesn't mean zone, but I'm using the word because it can be used. Secure your zone, secure your house, secure your apartment, secure your condominium, or wherever you're doing, secure it. Secure your zone, the area in which you live, secure that. That's what that's basically saying. Secure it, okay? All right, and then we got ka. We want to say ka because it's on the end. Ka is the same thing as your. So we'll say really ka right there we're going to use the possessive adjective and make house your house. Bayaf ka. So we have to put that ka sound up there. So let's put it up there. All right, ka. In this case, we have to use the Assyrian. So we have to do this. Okay. What do we have to do? Tell me. All right. Is this right? Type yes or no. When I say ka, is that right there? By Yaf ka. And if it's not, tell me. Well, just tell me if that's right or wrong. Yes or no, and I'll correct it for you. Guys, type yes, type a Y for yes or N for no. Is this right when I say B'yaf ka? In Assyrian. Is that the correct spelling for it? And if not, I'll correct it. But let me know, is it yes or no? In other words, put a 1. We'll put a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. In other words, do I have this right? I'm looking at this right here. That ending character right there, or the one on the end. Is that a correct character that should go there? If I'm saying house by Yaf ka, let me know. Is it 1 yes or 2 no? By Yaf ka. 1 yes or 2 no? Just tell me which one you think it is. 1 yes or 2 no? Adrian put yes. So by Yaf ka. What should I have here? By Yaf ka. It's at the end of house, by Yaf ka, which shows possession. Possession of the. Okay, we got all that out of the way. But which one of these should I use? By Yaf ka. Which one? Here's ka right here. Which one should I use? That one, or that one? Those are all kas. They say ka. Which one should I use? Yes or no? In other words, do I have it right here? Which one should I use? And of course, we're doing Assyrian. So in other words, what I'm saying to you, will it look like this? Will it look like this? Or will it look like this? In other words, let's say, in other words, do I have the right one down there? Yes or no? I mean, maybe I'm confused, I don't know. But hey, I'll tell you what. Let's do it this way. Because I don't want to confuse you there. Okay? Let's do the same thing that we've done up here at the top. Is it number 1, 2, or 3? Which one of these kas, and all of them are ka, Which one of those cars go here? Number one. Now, in other words, of course, you guys still on yes or no. Okay, good. Okay. Well, let me correct it for you here, guys. When I said originally yes or no, yes was we'll do it this way. 1, yes, and 2 was no. Okay. So are you guys saying that character is correct? Then that's not right. What you want to do is use this one right here. When I say yes, that is a character for ka. Well, here it is right here. That's a character right there for ka. See, ka, that is a character for ka. But the one you would use is at the end. Ka occurs on the end of the word, so you want to use that one in green right there. And that one in green will look like this one right here. It'll look more like this. Okay, I'm going ahead because I didn't want to. Okay, yeah, she put, okay, la. No, again. No, sir. Oh, no, yeah. Right, exactly. That's exactly right. It looked like, in other words, it's not right. You're exactly right. You got it right now. It'll look like this. When you see that, character right there, this one right here, it occurs at the end of the word. You both guys got it right. When you see that word right there, ka, when you see that on the end, because that's what we're using, this ka. We're using ka, sorry, it's lucky. We're using ka right here. That's what this ka is. And that ka occurs at the end of the word, and it looks like this one right here. That's why I use green. This is a ka, that's a ka. Of course, this is paleo, that's Assyrian. I use that one, but that's not right. You have to use the one in green. So you guys got it right. There you go. Just in case, I think I might have been saying something kind of wrong there, but I think you guys got the idea. My whole idea is to show you guys what it looks like so you'll understand it. That tells me, let's do this. Okay, good. All right. Now, so that's right. So let's do shamar. Let's do the word shamar. We're working on ending connectors and ending connectors for the Syrian and Paleo. We're doing the connectors. I'm sorry. Let me back up. We're doing ending characters, which is this green right here. That one. We're using ending characters, okay, for the Syrian, and of course we're doing the Paleo connectors also. So right now we're on the Syrian. We'll do one thing at a time. We won't mix the two because that will get y'all confused too. So let's do this. All right, let's do shamar. That means secure. Secure your zone. Be on shamar. Secure. In other words, let's do this. We can use that to secure it. That means, make sure things are right. Guard it. In other words, we can use the word guard your zone. That's what we said before. Just guard it. I mean, you got a better word, that's fine, let me know. But that's the one I use, okay? So let's spell it. Let's spell it first in the Syrian. Shamar. We'll say Shah in Assyrian, like that. Shah. And then we'll say right here. Then we'll say Ma. Right here. There it is right there. We'll say Ma, like this. Okay. All right. Getting all this mixed up right here. Then of course we use the R sound, or the ra. The ra, that's right here. Okay. You have to be careful sometime when you're doing these characters to make sure you kind of make them look right. There we go. Because if you don't, this and this will look the same, and they're not. One has more like a wider stance with a little curl up there. I mean, you know, just for the sake of, you'll see it. And then over here, we'll do a little shorter. And one's shorter. They almost look like the same characters, but they're not. That's a Ra. And basically, in the Tanakh, it looks real wide. Over here, this will sort of look, I'll make this a little shorter right there. It looks sort of like that, just like a little stubby looking 7 there. That's the difference. So you have to make sure you understand. Okay, so good, that's good. So we don't have any more ending connectors on them, so we're done with that for Assyrian. Shamar Bayafka. Secure your zone, secure your house. Guard your house. All right, let's do some paleo here. In paleo, we're going to have to figure out that we're done with the Assyrian, don't have but one ending connector over here. Now we want to see, all right. Now we want to see, there we go. Now we want to see Bayath and Paleo. So we want to say Ba, there's a B right there. It's right there. Ba. Then we want to say Ya. Okay. Like that. There it is right there. Okay. We're using the Ya sound right over here. And then we want to say Tha. That's right here. Tha's like a laid down cross. Okay. And of course, you're picking up after we have Shar in class from Onetta. Very good, Shar. Officer Shar, 50 in class. And then, of course, we're using over here is Ka. So here's a Ka. So in Assyrian, a Paleo, it's going to look like this. There we go. And a cuss, okay. Now let's put some connectors on. We'll do that in a second here. Let's do the Shamar and then we'll put the connectors on it so you guys can understand the connectors also. And we'll understand a little bit better. So we come over here and we'll say Shah or guard. There we go. Shah. Like I said, we'll put the connectors on in a second. Shah, and then we want to put, of course, we want to put a Ma because we're in Paleo here. So that looks like this. Okay, there's the Ma. Shah, Ma, and then of course we don't forget the R. We got to put that Ra sound over here, and that's right here. That sound right there, Ra. That would be that one red sound, that red looking. Over Ra, that red symbol. You guys, okay? Ra. It'll look like this. Okay. Now, all right, okay, let's put some connectors on here. Let's put some connectors on these right here. Let's get put this over here. I'll get it out of the way a little bit. Oops. All right. Okay. All right. Let's put some connectors on this, for lack of better words, to and you don't have no Indian characters in the Assyrian, so we're going to use the connector. So let's see how this sound. Ba, like this. Ba. Well, let's do it in a different color so you can see it real good. For the sake of learning, we'll slow it down. We'll have to go real fast here. Ba, independent connector. Independent connector and sound is independent. Ba. Ba. Then we want to say, what do we want to do now? We want to say Yath. Now, in Yath, I want to know, here we go again. Do we use the independent connector or the dependent connector for this much of the word right here? I'll circle it right there. Right there. By Yath. Ba Yath Ka. So I'm going to say Yath. Yah and Tha. Yath. Do I use the independent connector or the dependent connector? You know, type it in your chat. Is that number independent? Is your answer would be number 1. Dependent, your answer would be number 2. Which one do you want to use? Independent on Yath. Down here. In other words, we want to put the connectors on this word right here. So everybody in the chat, is it a 1 or 2 when we're using Yath? I'll put an arrow right here so you can see what I'm talking about. We're talking about this word right here. Not word, but these characters. We want to know, is that dependent connector or independent connector? Which one do you want to put down in there? Type it in your chat. Is it independent or dependent? Adrian put down dependent. Okay, very good. Let's see. Michelle and Shar and Ashan, Bankara, all the rest of you. We'll give you guys a few more. Even if you know it, your officer not, just go ahead and help the class out and tell me which one it is. Adrian put her answer down. Is it independent or dependent? In other words, for Yath, Y-A-T-H. Yath. I mean, you gotta use your characters. Use your characters to say you got a Yah and a Ba there. So what would you use? Independent or dependent? For the sake of helping the class out, officers, you can write your answers down also. Trooper, you know. Yah and Tha. Yath. I'll give you 10 more seconds here. So far, Adrian's put hers down. Participating in class actually helps everybody else. Not just yourself, it helps everybody. When you participate, okay, Michelle Gambrel, she says, okay, give you 5 more seconds for everybody to participate more. Both your sisters applaud you for doing that. That's good. Let's adjust this camera here for a second. Let's see. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, lock it. All right. Very good. Okay, they say number 2, so it's dependent, and they're right. So we're going to use right here. So this is the Yah and the Tha. It needs a dependent sound because that's what they are. They depend on each other to make a sound. That's what that is. Okay? Yath. You know. You understand, Officer Trooper? You go ahead and put your answers down and help. It's helping you out, Trooper. If you put your answers down also, if you want to, that's fine. No problem. Okay. And now we have the last sound we have is Ka. Now I want you to know, did I write that down wrong? Or did I write it down right? Let me know. Okay? In other words, this is what we want to do. That's what we're doing here. We're learning something. Okay? Now, which one? And we're gonna do this lesson again here. We want to say, does it for Ka? Should it look like this? And we're in Paleo. Is that right? Is that what it should look like? We're in the Paleo. Is that right? Did I write this down wrong? Or did I do it right? 1 for yes, 2 for no. 1 for yes, and 2 for no. In other words, is this character correct that I wrote down here? It's obvious that it's going to get a connector sound of independent, because that's all it has left. It's just ka. But is that the right symbol? I mean, is that the right character? I mean, did I do it right? In other words, right here, ka. Which one is it? That one, or that one? That's paleo, that's Assyrian, and that's the ending connector. So we're doing paleo characters. So is that the right character? Yes or no? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Right here, this arrow, right there. Is that the right? Adrian, in other words, Adrian, you said 2. Let's make sure we get this right. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Is this the right one? I mean, this is paleo. Paleo does not need ending characters. All it needs is a connector. I already put the connector down. I just want to know, is this C-looking thing with an arrow in the middle, is that the correct character? That one. Is that the right one to write down? Want to revise your answer, Adrian? In other words, let me say, yes, it is. I just did that to see if you guys were paying attention to me. Yes, it is the right one, so the answer should be 1. It is. That is the correct. This is paleo. You don't need, it doesn't have any ending characters like we did here or there. In other words, right here. There you go, Michelle, down, okay? All right. In other words, ka, right there. In other words, that first one there, that's the correct one, ka. That is Assyrian here, and this is the ending connected for ending character for Assyrian. But we're doing right there for the ka. We're doing, yes, sir. Okay, good. She said yes, very good. And very good, sisters. Give yourself a hand clap for her participation in doing and getting things right. You know, that's how you learn. But just remember, and I'll reiterate before I erase this off the board. Well, actually, I got to do the connectors for the shamar here. What we're doing is showing you the difference between the paleo connectors and the Syrian ending characters. That's all we're doing really here. And I can do it all day and tell you, but when you participate, you're beginning to see your what you have to do to come up for more understanding. You know, you have to make sure that you guys understand a little better. Okay? And or are we doing it right? That's the main thing. You know, are we doing things right? That's the important thing. Is it right? And so far we're doing a great job. Great job, Sister Adrian, Sister Michelle, Bon Kara, Shar, and Trooper Sean. We're doing an excellent job. And that's the reason why, because we're coming up. We're coming up with the ending connectors right here, and of course we're doing the Assyrian in the blue there, and the red. I'm sorry, the paleo in the blue here. So, and the Assyrian right here, which has end connector that we put down. So that's why I'm doing it. You don't need any connectors here on the paleo, but you do up here on the Assyrian. And of course, let's break it down again. Ba, independence connector, because it has an independent sound. Ba. But when you say yath, you want to say yath. So you have to make them sound with a dependent connector. Okay? Ba yath. And of course we use ka because we have to use a possessive adjective to make it possessive. Your ka. Ba yath ka. And that's right here. Stands all alone, so it's independent. It's all that's left. When you see something that's all that's left there anyway, it's got to be independent. You know, that's what it is. independent. So don't get it. Okay, now let's use it. Let's see. Still got some good time, doing good. Okay, shamar. We're gonna say sha. Now, same thing here. And I'll go ahead. Well, let's see. Now, we'll let you guys participate on this one. Now, shamar, okay? What kind of connector will we use on shamar? Let's go back to that. Which connector is going to be. Let's find out. Let's find out what kind of connector we're going to use. Let's go ahead and let's put our thinking cap on again. Troopers, officers, sisters. What we want to use? Shamar. What kind of connector are we going to put here? Two independent connectors or dependent connector? Which one would we use? Independent or dependent? We want to use sha. I already gave it up. Sha by itself. Sha. That's independent sound. Well, I'm going to say mar. Now, to do that, you'll have to know the characters. You have a ma and a ra. Ma and a ra. Ma and a ra. Ma and a ra right there. So what am I going to use to make that sound? Independent or dependent? Give you guys a few seconds there. Oh yeah, we'll make it easy for you. Type a 1 or 2. Independent for 1 or dependent for number 2. What sound would it be? An independent sound, when you want to use MAR, I'll circle it again there so you guys can see it. Right there. We're doing this much of the word. Shamar. How do we do that? Adrian puts down a 2 for mar. Okay, so good so far. All right, let's see. We'll see, Adrian. We'll see if you're right or wrong. Shamar. We'll get that in a second. Keep it in suspense for a second. Okay. Some adjustments here. Okay. All right. Okay. It's locky. To make some adjustments to my camera here, it's locky. Okay. There we go. All right. Adrian put down a 2. Okay, good. And then we'll go ahead and put that one down. And we'll say that's correct. Right there. Number 2, dependent. Why? Because ma and the ra depend on each other to make a sound. And that's why you put it down. Mar. Shamar. Very good. And that's it's a good lesson in possessive adjectives. It's a good lesson in ka here. It's a good lesson in the connectors for the Syrian. It's a good lesson in paleo. And that's why we're doing this. You know, that's the whole point. So let's see. And let's go over and see what we got on the board here. Let's see. Let's review it. One of the lessons I want you to understand is preparedness. A state of readiness. Be prepared. A state of readiness, especially for war. That's what preparedness. Be prepared. So I wrote the word down. Prepare. Kawan. For this, za, winter. Karab. Coming down on my top there. Winter. Prepare for this winter. Get with your camp leader so he can show you how to prepare. We have, there's a list put out there in I.S.U.P.K, www.ISUPK.com. Get with your camp leader and he'll let you know. And then secure your zone, or garden, shamar. That's the word I use, you know, get some more words you can use. Your whose zone? Well, you take care of your own zone, so we use, or in this case, your zone, your house, your wherever you live, you know. YAHANNA. YAH is house, YAH, and then ka we're going to use for your, because that's your prepositional, the possessive adjective that makes that true. YAHANNA, ownership, your, you know, that's what I was taught. So, and that's how you spell it in Syrian, and this, of course, is how you spell it in Paleo, and this is how you spell it in Shamar, in Assyrian, and that's how you spell it in Paleo with its connectors. Okay, so that's good understanding. So we'll go ahead and erase this off the board and move on to something else real quick here. See if I could we'll go ahead and do this real quick and put something else up on the board. It's very good. And I'll leave the preparedness up there so you guys can understand that that's what we're really doing for the winter. We're preparing, get it together, get your zone together, prepare your bayaf, your house. You know. Okay? I'll take the time, let me do some cosmetic here for class there. Kind of erasing the board. Okay? All right. Now let's put something else on the board. But I'm glad we got that lesson stated right there. Be prepared. Prepare your house. And of course, we learned some Hebrew on that. We'll put these back up here. Now, let's see. For the people that's listening in the audience, of course, let's go over something like I was going to go over, I want to take the time what class we got here, since I know we may have, you never know, we may have some new brothers and sisters in class. We got a little time here, so let's do this. Let's go on the board. Let's go on the board and write some of these characters out. I was going to do something else. Well, let's go ahead and, let me see, should I do this? Let's see. We'll go to a lesson I did a while back. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Let's see. We go to one of the lessons I did when it comes to, let's write something out here. 10, 6. Okay, yeah. Let's do some Lashawan Qadash. Let's do, if you want to, we want to say, like, good evening. You know, you see a person that you want to talk to, or that you need to talk to, and you want to say good evening. So let's say it. Let's do that in black. Good evening. So how do we say that for man and woman? You know, it gets a little difference there. Good evening. You know. Good evening. Evening. Okay? Now how do we say that? In Hebrew. Okay? And of course, everybody know, or if you don't, this is what we're going to do. But this time we're going to put we're gonna say, let's do this. We'll write it in green here. Good. The word for good is tawab. Okay? Tawab. Just like that. Okay? And we're gonna break this down a little bit. Okay? And then the word for evening is Arab. Like this. Okay? Tawab Arab. All right? Okay? Now, but for the male, we'll say, he's going to say, for the male, you know, for masculine, I'm going to break this down to masculine, he's going to say Tawab. Tawab, brother, Tawab. You know? But for a sister, she want to say, we'll put this in another color. You know? The sister, she wants to say Tawab. Yeah, Tawab, yeah. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's right. Tawaba. Tawaba. Yeah. Like that. Okay? And then Ara. Same thing over here. Or so basically this means good evening. You know? And one's a female and one's a male. Well, instead of saying sisters, let me put female over here. Female. Okay? All right? We'll break it down in Hebrew. We're going to put 3 sentences down here. Hopefully we got enough time here. Let's break it down. This time we're going to use the red for the yeah. We'll get down here because I want you guys to be able to look at the characters right here and be able to see. Oh, okay. The red is the Hebrew. As a matter of fact, if I'm going to do that, I might as well go ahead and change them up here right now. Get all this stuff right. Get it right. Get it right, because this is what we want to do. We want to use the paleo, we want to use red. Let's just change it right here. Paleo. Okay? And the Syrian, we want to use the blue. Because it matches my board on my, it matches what I have for the board and the characters. So you guys, because I'm looking at them backwards, sometimes I have to sit there and think about what I'm doing a little bit harder. So we're going to do this. Syrian. Syrian. Just like that, okay? Of course, these have connectors over here. Okay? All right. There we go. And so to Wabara, okay? So we want to use, let's do the Syrian. Of course, the Syrian is going to be in blue. So we're going to say right here. Out to the side, we'll say like this. Rob. Yeah, I guess we'll have to say ta. We'll go over here to the board. Use your board. I got these backwards. Let's put them so you guys can understand. Right there. Just like that, okay? A ta. We're doing the Assyrian first, so we say the ta sound is going to be like this. Okay, in Assyrian. Then we're going to say wa. Well, you go over here to the wa, right here. We're still in Assyrian in blue. Right there. Wa. Then of course we're going to say the ba sound, you know, that's right here. That's tawab, okay? And we'll say Arab, so we'll say, we're still in Assyrian. Was I, like that. I. Then of course you want to use the Ra. You want to use the Ra. Okay, like that. And then of course you want to use the Ba. Like that. That's Assyrian, okay? That's, and I'll kind of put a dot here. Tawab, I'll let you guys write that down, give you a chance to write it down here, but that's what it says, Tawab. Okay. Yeah. Tawab Arab, okay? And then we'll go over here. It'll say the same thing, and we're only going to use it in Paleo. We're going to do it in Paleo. So a ta sounds like this, right here. Ta. Okay. All right. And the Syrian don't have any connecting sounds. They're both B's, so you don't need any connectors on there. That's a B. And the connectors for the Assyrian, the B does not have a ending character sound, so we don't need it. So we go ta over here, okay? Then we go wa right here, okay? All right. Then we go ba. And a ba, and you go to the ba sound right here. So we go like this. Like that. Not quite like that, but like that. Now let's put that's Tawab. Let's put Arab. So Arab, we go over here, it's gonna look like this. That's an I. That old sound there, that's an I. I, then we're going to put Ra, 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 we got to put that R sound right there. Then we got to come back over here to the B. We got to put a B. The same B that we had before. Sort of like that. Let's check it out, make sure we make no mistakes there. Okay? All right, we'll put the connectors. We'll put the connectors here in a second on the Paleo. So, ta, wa, ba, I, ra, ba. That's good for the Syrian, okay? And then we'll now if you want to use the female, it'll be the same thing over here, but we're going to add a on the end. So let's move Arab over here a little bit. Have some room here. Rob. Good evening. That's how you want to say that. And then of course for the female, if you want to say Arab, Tawaba, you want to say over here. That's for the male. If you want to say Tawaba, let's put the sound here. See if we got enough room. Let's redo this here. Just lock you. Yeah. I, and then we want to put. Yeah, we got enough room. I, then we want to put Ra. Then we want to put the Ba. Okay, but for Tawaba, so we want to put the ah sound right here, and the so it'll look like this. It'll look like that. Okay, just an A, because the A character carries the H with it. Ah, you hear it, ah, you know, kind of big right there. We'll make it a little smaller. Looks like this. Okay, now this is female here, and that's the male. up here. Way of saying it. Okay? Tawab Arab. Tawaba Arab. Okay? Now, let's put the connectors on this. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put we'll put the on the male. Maybe I should have put it up here. Let's put I got enough room to do that. Yeah, I guess I do. That's the female, and the that's the Syrian. Now let's put yeah, we can go ahead and just put the up here, up top. We'll put it in paleo right here, up top, so you guys can see the. Well, we ain't got enough room right there. I ain't thinking about it. Okay, that's female. So we go do the male down here for the paleo. Yeah. Well, we're not gonna worry about that one right there. Okay, that's good enough. We'll just do the woman's for the Syrian, for the paleo here. So we say ta, independent connected sound. Wab, you have to use the wa and the ba together. You have to use these together right here, just like that. Wab, okay? And the is independent sound, independent connector. That's tawaba. Now, if you want to do it for the male, you just want to use this much of it. That's all it is. For the male, for the female, you use the whole thing. For the male, female. You know, the male is this box right here, and right that part of it, and then the female you use over here for this part of it, with this little circle that I put around it. Okay? Don't want to get people confused right there. Let's do it this way. Let's just draw it over again for the male. Ta, wab. There we go. Okay? Ta, wab. That's male. This is female. Take the take that from around it. Okay, now there we go. All right. Independent connector, dependent connector, and the by itself is an independent connector. That's tawaba. Okay. And you say Rob, of course we want to say I right here, and then you want to say Rob. We got to pronounce that Rob together. So the lesson that we've learned, let's see if we well now I'll go ahead and do it for you. Rob, we use right there. Dependent connector. They depend. This R and this A and this B. Ra and a ba has a dependent sound, so that's why you pronounce them together. That's a dependent connector. Rob. Rob. Over here is an independent connector. That's why you use a single sound. I rob. So it says tawaba, arab. Ta, wab, ba, I, wab. That's how it's done. Over here, you're going to do the same thing. And I don't have to write this over again. That's a rob. It's going to be the same thing for the male. But for the male, for tawab, you don't use the I up here. You say tawab. Just like that. Okay? So we give you guys a few seconds to write that, and then we'll erase that off the board and move on to the next sentence here. Got maybe one more before class ends, and that would have been a Tawab class. Had some more stuff, but I didn't want to do all of the everything in one day, because we can't. We have to kind of break it down a little bit at a time. But basically, when you catch on to it like this, you begin to see the independent connectors for Syrian, and you begin to see, the independent and dependent connectors for the paleo, And for the Syrian, you begin to see the ending characters. But in order to do the ending characters, you got to make sure that you understand what's up here on the board. That's why you have to write them down. That's what the whole point is. In other words, that's the whole point, to write them down so you'll get the understanding of it. And I don't know, let's see, we got enough time for that one? Oh, let's do just a little short lesson here. We say, what is your name? Let's do that real quick. We'll have that one real quick. We'll write what I can on it before class over. So in other words, you ask somebody, first of all, you say, good evening. That's the first thing we say. Now we want to say, what is your name? Not his name, but not their name, but what is your name? So how do we say that in Hebrew? Well, Hebrew, the first thing we'll say is maha. Maha. Okay? Then we want to say, you can say hawa'a, that is, so we'll go ahead and say it that way. Ha, wa, some people may say it different, but this is how I do it. Hawa'a. And then we want to say your name. Remember, for your name, Dane translates Sham. Okay? But to make that possessive, you have to, if you guys in class, if you remember, let me see, that'll be the last thing you type in today. I know y'all been working you hard today. If I do anything, let's at least get this one. In class today, what would you write down for, if I want to say, yeah, maybe you guys will listen, I don't know. You might not, I don't know. We'll go ahead and, we won't worry about that. We'll go ahead and give it to you. Ka. That is a possessive adjective to possess this noun here. That's what name is. So you say Shamka. Okay? So Ma'a, Hawa'a, Shamka. In other words, what's your name? Ma'a, Hawa'a, Shamka. Just say Ma'a Shamka. They don't understand it's your name. The is implied, but I just put Hawa'a, because that's what is. So we just say Ma'a Shamka. Let's say, what's your name? So formal, I don't speak good English, great English anyway, but I try. Ma'a Hawa Shamka. Okay? And that's how you say what is your name. Let's do a translation over here. In Sham, let's say Ma'a. Let's say in Paleo, let's say Ma, right here. Ma, of course, in the Ha, you want to use a Ha sound over here. Right here, Paleo sound. Right here. Okay? So we want to say Ma. I like to use this, just Maha. Ma. Some people like to say Ma. I don't want to say it. I want to say Maha. Maha. That's in two independent sounds. Ma and Ha. Okay? Ha-wa-ha. All right? Ha. We want to say Ha. Like that. Okay? Then we want to say Wa, because we're doing Paleo here. There's a difference. That's the language that they gave us. That the language the Most High given us. That's why it has connectors that make great sense. And in our captivity, they changed it and gave us the Assyrian, which kind of like these I think it's Revelation 2:9, where the Khazarian, those people over there in the Balfour Declaration, stole our language, because they basically put their sounds to our characters and came up with Assyrian. And Assyrian, of course, they adopted over here these fake Khazarians over here right now. They're doing it, and of course, but that's what it is. Ha, wa, ah, and then we're going to say ah. So ah looks like that. Okay? And of course it says ha, wa, ah. All independent sounds there. That's how you sit. That's how you want to do it. Ha, ha. We got a few more minutes here. Ha, wa, ah. Ha, wa, ah. Ha, wa. That's how you do it. This is paleo, of course. Then Shamka, we'll say sha. We'll say sha. Like that. Okay? Then we'll say ma. And you know, you have to go ma. You drop the A because you got something at the end. I mean, you really, before you had this, make sure we got this right here. Yeah, Sham. Yeah, name is Sham. I got that right. Okay, so Sham, but the M right there, you drop the A sound right here. You don't need, I mean, you know, you don't say Shamaha. It's Sham. You want to use that first. So normally by itself, it will look like this. And that's what it looks like. Sham, but then you want to use ka. You want to use this ka over here. Right there. Of course, we are doing paleo. Right there. Then over here, for the Syrian, we'll do this real quick. Cause, well, let's do the connectors. I'm sorry. Sha. Do the connectors right there. Sha. Then you want to say, oops. No, we don't want to do that. We want to say Sham. The whole thing gets joined together. Sham. Not Shamam. It's Sham. So that is a dependent connector. All this depends on itself. But Ka by itself, you know, it's one sound. So we put one sound, independent connector right there on Ka. And we use Ka because it's your. That's a possessive adjective right here. Okay? That's where we get it from. Of course, real quick here, see, we still got some time. Yeah, we got a little bit. Not much. I don't know, I may not have time to do, but I'll do one word right here. We'll do this one right here. Sha. Then we'll use ma in Assyrian. And then we'll use ka. But since ka occurs at the end of the sentence, then the lesson that you guys learned, I don't have time to do anything else but give you the answer. The lesson that we've learned at the end, we want to use a ka in Assyrian because ka occurs at the end. We want to use the ending character for ka. And it looks like that. Okay? Not too long there. A little short, stubby. Not to be confused with an R that looks like that. Or, you know, that's a little wider. Big difference. Not this one, that one. And that's pretty much the end of class. That's a lesson. That's good. Okay, and now, do I have time to do that? Not really. I better do the announcements, okay? We'll catch up with this next week. We'll have a better class. And I say, give yourself a hand for class for the participants. Everybody, give yourself a hands for the ox, the Adawam, trooper, and the Akwaf, the sisters. Give yourself a hand. That's very good. But we're going to do some announcements today for the end of the class, and I hope you understand what we meant when we said preparedness. It's a state of readiness, especially for war, okay? So let's get ready. Let's get state of ready. We're warring against this COVID, you know. Most High put it on the earth for a reason. That's so coming down from top, let's get straight. There you go, sisters. Let's get straight. Let's find out. Let's get prepared. You want to get that list, get online, talk to your camp leader, or go to www.I.S.U.P.K.com and get that list. It's a list. Or just call me or call one of the officers. You know, we have that list. We can forward it to you. Sisters and officers and whoever need it, troopers, whoever need it, if you don't already have it, you know, all you have to do is consult the camp leader or one of the officers in ISUPK.com, I.S.U.P.K. or www.I.S.U.P.K.com. We're going to do the security announcements. And the I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The rule for the new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. Okay? If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Okay? There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and the sister will get married from the head to get permission from the head to marry. Tithes was a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 and 10 means tenth in Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny or increase the Most High gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory, but whatsoever amount you would like to give. In other words, the upcoming Holy Convocation, of course, we had the Passover, it was on the 14th day, first month. It would have been on Thursday, April 9th, 2020, but of course it's got moved because of the things that happened here. But it's got moved, and you find that in Exodus 12:1 to 51, Leviticus 23:4 and 5, 1 Corinthians 5:7 and 8, and 2 Corinthians 30 and 17. Of course, and then we have another, the feast coming up, I believe, is in September, the Day of Atonement. You have, that's September 26th, the 10th day, okay. And then you have, let's see, what else? That's the one I see here, September. Yes, 7, Feast of 11 Day, Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement, Saturday, September 26, 2020. But that was a Tawab class, and we're going to end class on that note, and hope you guys get in class